Yes, people, this is your girl Aleisha Lee, and welcome back to a new episode of Motivational Lee. On this week's episode, we are going to be talking about failure and success. Now, a lot of people think that these things are opposites. This image was created by @Liz and Molly. It really resonated with me. I posted it up and a lot of other people resonated with this image as well. But before we get into all of that, make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you are kept up to date each and every time I upload. And without further ado, let's get into this. So this week's episode is failure and success. In this image, it says, we think of failure and success as opposites, when in reality, failure is part of success. Now, this rings so true, and I think this is a perspective that we need to look at things from more, especially with everything that's going on at the moment. It's really easy to fall into the trap of thinking that you're a failure. Everybody has their own individual journey and path that they need to take. Now, on that journey, there will be things that don't always happen in your favor, or do they? Now, we look at things as when there's something that we really wanted to do or something that we want, and if we don't necessarily succeed in the first time getting it, sometimes we look at that as a failure, and sometimes we even use that to give up. Whereas sometimes that might be just a signal for us to try again in a different way, or for us to do something different in order for us to get a different result. We can't always look at these as failures, because failure takes you one step closer to being successful. We've always seen these things about people that have invented things. It took them how many attempts before they actually made it work. Could you imagine if they gave up on the first attempt? There's certain things that we wouldn't have in existence. Maybe we wouldn't have seen the light bulb. Maybe we wouldn't have seen the Dyson. It took many failed attempts in order for them to get the one that worked. We have to look at failures and success as building blocks in our life to make sure that we are getting what we need to get. Without these stepping stones, we wouldn't be able to get to the destinations we need to get to. It's not always going to be smooth sailing. If I tell you the amount of what we call, some people call them L's. Some people say L's means losses. I like to look at it, and to be honest, I used to be one of those people that looked at an L as a loss. But now I tend to look at it more as a lesson. Some lessons, i.e. losses, you're going to go through more than once until you actually get to a stage where you realise, no, this is not for me, this is not how things should go, I need to try something different. But however you look at it, whether you look at it as losses or lessons, they're all part of the journey. You're going to have to go through these things to build character. We can't always have smooth sailing, because that's just life, that's not how things go. But you have to use these lessons, these losses, whatever you want to call it, these building blocks. They all come a part of success. And to be honest, if you didn't have those, you wouldn't get to the place that you needed to be. It is all a part of the journey. And the more you look at things like that, the easier things become in anything that you're trying to do. Rather than you looking at it as, I've lost, I'm a failure in this, you're not. It's just a signal for you to try and do things a little bit different. Maybe speak to someone else to get some help or guidance. Just do things that you wouldn't usually do in order for you to get the result. Sometimes we do have to go through things that we deem as painful or as hardship in order for us to get to the place that we ultimately want to and need to be. And this is a part of life. The more we understand this, the easier things will become, and we won't take the losses as losses so much. We're going to look at them more as lessons, because they've taught you things that you need to work on, or they've shown you things that you need to focus on more and not focus on so much. Anyway, guys, I'm keeping this one short and sweet. I'm going to leave this image here, and also have a think about people that you know that have had to do things more than once in order to get the result. If they had given up, would they still have made it? I don't know. But have a think about that. Try not to look at these losses or failures as that, because they are helping you get to the next stage. They are helping you get to the next step. And that's how you have to look at it. These are all building blocks, and together they make the best wall. I mean, that's all I could think of for now, but you guys get what I mean. Yeah, you need to build your wall and make sure that it is solid in its foundations, and you do need to have some failures in that, and you're going to have some wins in that, but they are all a part of the process. Don't forget that. Anyway, guys, that's it for this week. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any comments down below on how you use your failures to gear you towards success, or your L's or losses or lessons, whatever you look at it, let us know in the comments down below. And you never know, you could be sharing something with us that can help us along our way as well. So don't be afraid. Leave that comment, drop that down below. Anyway, guys, have a great week. Keep it positive, keep it happy, and keep on building. Done now, boy.